Would she ask you how she looked?
Yes.
And sometimes when she asked you how she looked, would she be inappropriately attired?
She would be topless. Usually just topless or like an open robe. And sometimes, with her clothes on.
You slept in bed with your mom a lot, didn't you, even when you were little?
Yes.
And did you continue to sleep in her bed around this time when you're 11 and 12?
Sometimes.
And sometimes, did you touch your mom?
Yes.
Would your dad be in bed?
Sometimes.
And where would you touch her?
Everywhere.
Did she touch your back?
She kissed me, but she didn't touch me.
And how long did these things go on for?
Until I was 13, a little bit farther than that.
And when this was going on with your mom, was she nicer to you than she used to be?
No. She was worse.
And did it stop at some point?
It stopped a few months after I was 13.
Who stopped it?
I did.
How did she react to that?
She was furious and, she couldn't be too much worse, but she harassed me and we just sort of had arguments about and problems about that for a long time, a couple of years.
Hey everyone, welcome back. Today, we're exploring a case that's left people divided for decades. A story of family, intense emotions, and hidden secrets. The Menendez brothers. This story takes us back to one unforgettable night in Beverly Hills in 1989. Lyle and Eric Menendez, sons of Jose and Kitty Menendez, would make a choice that shocked everyone and left the public with endless questions. Why would they make such an extreme decision? Was it about money, inheritance, or something far deeper? This isn't just any family case. It's about complex relationships, underlying conflicts, and mysteries that still stir debate. For years, it seemed over, until a recent development in the justice system reopened this chapter, thought to be closed. Recently, new details pointing to possible past trauma emerged, and with them, a movement supporting the idea that the brothers were also victims, a movement now seeking justice on their behalf. Could this shift change their situation? And does the justice system agree? Today, we'll walk through the case, examine the key details, and share the latest developments from both the defense and the prosecution, as well as the divided views of the public. So what do you think? Is this a story of calculated actions or a response to a dark past? Stick around as we reveal the secrets behind the Menendez case. Let's dive deeper into the events that led up to that night and the background of the Menendez family. The Menendez family was wealthy and influential. Jose Menendez was a successful entertainment executive, and their home life seemed picture perfect. But as the case unfolded, the brothers shared details about their childhood, painting a very different picture behind closed doors. The Menendez brothers claimed that they endured years of hardship and difficult experiences, and they believed their actions were an escape from an unbearable situation. This testimony was central to their defense and became a flashpoint for public debate. Was their story genuine, or could it have been a carefully crafted strategy? As the trial progressed, people were divided. Some saw the brothers as victims of circumstance, while others viewed the narrative as a possible manipulation aimed at lessening their sentence. The media frenzy around the trial turned the Menendez brothers into household names, and public opinion remained sharply divided. Over the years, new interviews and documentaries have re-examined the evidence, including the accounts provided by those closest to the family. New information suggests there may be elements of truth to their claims. But whether this changes the perception of their actions remains a complex question. In recent years, supporters have argued that understanding the brothers' perspective could reshape their legal outcome. This idea has grown momentum, especially after new legislation has allowed some cases involving past trauma to be reconsidered. The question is, should this evidence be enough to reevaluate what happened? Stay with us as we explore the aftermath, the legal implications, and the impact of this case on families dealing with similar issues across the country. Let's dive deeper into the latest developments in the Menendez case with a major new proposal from District Attorney George Gascón. In October 2024, DA Gascón requested a sentence reduction for Lyle and Eric Menendez based on new evidence suggesting that the brothers may have been victims of severe family abuse. This new perspective could change everything, adding weight to the brothers' claims of enduring years of mistreatment before that infamous night. Here's a detailed description of the new evidence, suggesting that Lyle and Eric Menendez may have been victims of severe family mistreatment, leading DA George Gascón to request a sentence reduction. Recent testimony and documents have brought forward accounts from individuals who were close to the Menendez family, highlighting allegations of long-term emotional and psychological mistreatment within the household. These sources describe a controlling and intensely strict environment created by Jose Menendez, who, as a powerful figure in the entertainment industry, reportedly exerted extreme expectations and behavioral control over his sons from an early age. This new evidence includes first-hand accounts and psychological assessments that were previously either unexamined or overlooked during the initial trials. Supporters of the brothers now argue that this emotional environment likely contributed to the psychological state that the Menendez brothers described, ultimately culminating in their response to what they claimed was an intolerable family dynamic. The evidence re-examines the credibility of Lyle and Eric's claims, suggesting that they might not have fabricated their accounts. This revelation has fueled calls for the court to review the case, with advocates pushing for trauma-informed considerations in their sentencing. DA Gascón's request for clemency reflects this shift, acknowledging the possibility that years of psychological hardship may have influenced the brothers' actions. This new understanding of the family dynamics could be pivotal in the court's assessment of whether the Menendez brothers' initial claims were valid and if they warrant a sentence adjustment after serving over 3 decades. Gascón's request stems from a belief that the court should reconsider the case, especially if there's potential evidence of trauma that might have influenced their actions. If this proposal is accepted, it could lead to clemency for Lyle and Eric, possibly granting them freedom after more than 30 years behind bars. For the brothers and their supporters, this move represents a glimmer of hope for a second chance, backed by a belief in the need for trauma-informed justice. Public opinion on this proposal is sharply divided. Many supporters, including the Menendez legal team, argue that the possibility of long-standing abuse should be fully acknowledged in court. They see clemency as overdue justice. Others, however, question if this evidence is enough to overlook the severity of the events and release the brothers, arguing that their actions were premeditated and should remain punishable. This high-stakes decision has captured national attention, as the Menendez brothers' fate may be about to shift in a dramatic way. As the courts weigh the evidence and public debate continues, we're all watching to see if DA Gascón's proposal will indeed open a new chapter in this decades-old story. Perspectives from stakeholders and impact on the justice system. The Menendez case continues to spark diverse reactions within their family, with some members holding unique views on the prospect of reduced sentencing for Lyle and Eric. For many, it's a sensitive topic, influenced by complex family dynamics and differing beliefs about justice. In a broader sense, the Menendez case has highlighted the role that allegations of family mistreatment play in criminal cases. As the justice system increasingly considers trauma and abuse as factors in criminal behavior, this case could set new precedents for handling cases involving domestic challenges, especially where family mistreatment is alleged.
Mark?
Yeah, so as to the abuse and the emotions around that, yes, absolutely true and real. I've watched some other video as well that we didn't look at of those emotional states, and they produce a high level of empathy, and therefore that's really hard to do. You can do it. You have to be a really good actor. I saw it the other day with Anthony Hopkins in his new film. Genius acting. If this guy was acting in this, he's as good as Hopkins. Okay, so I'm not saying he can't be as good as Hopkins, but it's unlikely. So Occam's razor says that's true feelings going on there. Was there another motive involved? I haven't seen enough detail of them talking about other stuff, so I can't really judge on that one. So I don't know where to fall on that one. Maybe not. Haven't seen them talking enough about being in fear of their lives and any of the detail around that of the videos.
Maybe we need to do another one later.
Sure.
Yeah, another.
Sure. Scott, what's your take?
Conclusion and future outlook. If DA George Gascón's recommendation is approved by the court and clemency board, Lyle and Eric Menendez may be granted release in the near future. Their potential freedom marks a shift toward trauma-informed sentencing and signals a broader societal acknowledgement of the lasting impacts of family challenges on behavior. Long-term, this case could pave the way for legislative and judicial reforms, particularly regarding cases involving domestic dynamics, trauma, and the need for nuanced approaches to justice. As we move forward, the Menendez case might not only shape their futures, but also influence how similar cases are treated in the justice system.